In today's video, I'm going to show you how to draft a facing and how to turn it into a part of your garment. It's quick and simple, so if that interests you, stay tuned.
You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky.
If we haven't met, my name's Claire and this is my channel, Penguin and Pear. So today I'm going to show you how to draft a facing, and if you stay to the end of the video, I will also be announcing the winner of my giveaway. So a few videos ago I produced the Liliana jacket, which is this one here, and I created the facing that is inside. I offered to show you how to do it and quite a few of you said yes please, so today that's what I'm going to show you how to draft. If you've never drafted a facing, it's not difficult, it's really not difficult. I will show you step by step, so do follow along. It might be worth you watching the whole video through first before you watch it and try to attempt it. But it's really not difficult, and once you've done it once, you'll know how to do it on any garment that doesn't have a facing with it. So without further ado, let's get on to the video. Hi guys, so we're going to create a facing today. So in front of me here, you'll see a bodice that I've traced off, and this is the front piece of the Liliana jacket, just in the smallest size. You'll see the front is finished. So when I created my facing included the arm side, the shoulder, the neckline and the front, so it was quite a big facing. Now there's a few different facings that you can create when you want one. It might just be that you're doing the shoulder only, or it might be you're doing the shoulder and the arm side, in which case you would go across like that. Or as in my case, you might be doing the arm side, the neckline and the centre front, and in that case you go from under here across there and down there like that. So you've got to decide first of all how deep you want your facing. Now I think they say 2 to 3 inches, but it's going to depend on your pattern. On this pattern, the dart starts at 3.5 inches down, so you're going to want a say 2.5 inch. I would go for a 2.5 inch. No real reason there because the dart be closed anyway. But before we do that, we need to draw in our seam allowance. So you'll need to look on the pattern piece and see how big the seam allowance. In my case, it is 5/8. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the seam allowance in for 5/8. So as you can see, I've now drawn in my seam allowance there, round there, up there, round there and down there. You'll notice I haven't done this bit, and that's just because we're not going to be doing a facing down there. So what you want to do now is get another piece of paper to lay over top so you can trace your actual facing. You don't need a lot of paper because for the first one we're just going to do a neckline facing. And it's really super simple. So this is all we do. We decide how far down we want it. Go 2.5 inches. You'll want to trace from your stitch line, not your cutting line. which is the inside of that seam allowance. So I've traced, hope you can see this okay, but I've traced 2.5 inches down, 2.5 inches across. This is the neckline. So if we were just going to do, if you're going to do a neckline facing, you just want it 2.5 inches all along that curve. So I've just measured in various points there. Right, so I've done 2.5 inches down, 2.5 inches down there, then I've measured across 2.5 inches all the way around and drawn a curve, which isn't perfect actually. There you go, that's a better curve. So that's the actual facing. However, because the facing neckline is the same as the actual main piece neckline, it may gape open a little bit while you are wearing it. So in that case, what you want to do is take between a 1/16 and an 1/8 off this inner edge. That'll make the facing piece smaller, and then you would just ease it into the main piece when you're attaching the two pieces, and that will make the facing gear towards the inside of your garment and it won't poke out. So if you see there, I have done an 1/8 all the way round. Now some people might think that an 1/8 is too much. I think when Anika from Made to Sew recommended this, she recommended a 1/16, which is half of that. However, I did an 1/8 on my jacket and it worked out really well for me. So just play it by ear, give it a go and see what works for you. The outer line is not a line anymore, the inner line is. Now all you have to do is draw your seam allowances back in, but we'll do that at the end. If you're wondering why I've got a pin in here, it's just to keep the paper secure while I'm tracing. So now we're going to trace off the neckline and the armhole as a facing in one. So let's do that. And first off, I'm going to trace along the seam line as before. So I've started at 2.5 inches here at the arm side, gone up into the shoulder, round the neckline and down 2.5 inches. Now what we want to do is join that point with that point, giving a natural curve into the body of it. Now I would start off by doing 2.5 inches until we get to there. 2.5 inches until we get to about there and then meet the two. Right, so you see I've got a few dots there. I'm just going to merge those dots using my French curve. And by the way, if you don't have a French curve, you can use anything with a curve on it, even a plate or something like that. So you've got to find the best curve that goes near those dots. The line there, and I've done the line there. So what I want to do is line up the curve so the two sides join. And there's my shape. Additionally, there aren't notches on this pattern, but say there was a shoulder notch here, you would just carry that over. There's a notch there, so I'll put a notch there. So, as with the neck facing, you want to take an 1/8 to a 1/16 off the edge, but I would only do it on the arm side round here and the neckline round here, because they're the parts that you want to make sure they stay under. The shoulder will stay under anyway because it'll be sewn in place. Right, so I've taken my 1/8 off the edges there, and I have just eyeballed it. I wouldn't advise you do this, but this is just for demonstration purposes, so I won't actually be using this facing. But that's essentially what you want to do. And now there's just one left to do, and that's to include the centre front if you're going to do that type of pattern. So now I'm going to trace off the facing that's for the arm side, the neckline and the centre front. So let me get on with that. Right, I've done a very rough outline, so I've gone 2.5 inches down here, up, round, up, and all the way down the centre front. So now what we want to do is match up this part with down there. But we don't want to just go across like that because it would make the garment too stiff. You want to do it in a similar way as the last time, but going all the way down to the centre front. So I'm going to come in 2.5 inches this way. Now that 2.5 inches is an arbitrary number, just so you're aware. Depends how thick you want your facing, you'll have to play it by ear. Don't forget that will include your seam allowance for finishing the edges of the facing, such as bias binding or serging or whatever you decide to do, turning it under maybe. I'll come in by 2.5 inches there. I've come up fairly high, but the curve is going to be my friend here. So let's see where the curve takes us. When I did my Liliana, I put one of the points over here, one of the points over here, and laid the curve head around that. So then I was able to draw a nice circle there. So I've gone 2.5 inches down here, round 2.5 inches, 2.5 inches, 2.5 inches, 2.5 inches, 2.5 inches, and then laid that there like that and joined the two sides, and that's the facing. So don't forget you need to take your 1/8 off there, and all the way down the centre front as well if you want it to lay properly on the inside. Don't forget to add your notches and any markings and labelling. So now all that's left to do is to add the seam allowances back in. That just means on this pattern you just draw in the outside, but it wouldn't be the same as the pattern. It'll be in a little bit. You just measure 5/8 from the edge, and that'll be the inner edge on these two, and do it all the way there. I've just done this very roughly, but that's essentially what you do now. You just label it, cut it out and make it. And it'll just be the same for the back piece as well. On the back piece, you'll want to do the neckline and the armholes if you're doing the armholes on the front. But if you're just doing the neckline on the front, then just do the neckline on the back. And that's it. Simple, huh? So I hope you found that helpful, and do let me know below if you're going to attempt it. It's not difficult. It doesn't look difficult, does it? It's really simple. I just worked it out on my own. I did reference a video by Made to Sew, who also have done one on how to draft a facing. So I'll link that below in case you want to have a look at that. So I want to say a big thank you to Megan Sullivan, as she sent me a lovely card in the post, which is this one. It's back to front because I'm filming on my camera. But how lovely. I received this card and I opened it up and realised she was sending it to me because I'd reached 1,000 subscribers. I can never say subscribers. Subscribers. So anyway, thank you so much, Megan, for doing that. It's such a lovely gesture and it really made me smile. Talking about 1,000 subscribers, I have now closed my giveaway. The response to my giveaway was fantastic. Really, really way over my expectations for it. I think there was about 150 of you that entered in the end. That's just amazing to me. And while I'm thinking of it, I also want to give a thank you to Lisa from And So On, because she gave me a shout out and lots of you have come over from there. So hi to those of you that have come over. So back to the giveaway. So yesterday I did draw the winner using a random comment generator. So I'm going to insert that footage now and we can find out who the winner is. So massive thanks to Akram, who has won. I've been in touch with Akram and let her know that she is the winner. Thank you everyone for taking part. I am very grateful for that and for your continued support with the channel. So question of the day, do you draft your own facings? If so, how did you learn? What do you think is the best way of learning to draft a facing? Let me know what you think of my tutorial below. If there's any similar types of things you want to learn, then do leave a comment and let me know what they are and I'll do my best to try and include them in a future video. Coming up in my next video is going to be a fabric haul, and it's some of my stash fabrics and a few of the fabrics that I've picked up recently. So if that interests you, hit the subscribe button, comment and like the video if you did indeed like it, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy sewing, bye for now. Oh, and check out one of my other videos. Here. Somewhere on the screen is all my videos. Do check them out. Bye for now.